Hello everyone! I hope you're ready for another adventure, because today, Wayne reads Dinosaur Mysteries. Always remember that as we learn about these amazing stories about animals and dinosaurs, all you have to do is press the CC button in your YouTube link to be able to follow along with the words. Now I think that Madame Owl will be perfect to join us and learn for today's adventure. Alright, now that Madame Owl is here, let's jump in. Dinosaur Mystery. The case of the hole in the head. Suppose you found a large neck bone in a dinosaur quarry. Then you found another and another. Finally, at the end of a neck 26 feet long, you find a skull. It wasn't like any skull you had ever seen. The teeth were flat, stubby pencils that hadn't been sharpened. Certainly not very good for chewing. Strangest of all, there were no openings in the skull where an animal's nostrils would usually be. Instead, this dinosaur had a hole at the top of its head. Why? You would surely ask yourself, why would a creature breathe through its nostrils placed on a particular spot? That was a question scientists asked themselves when they found the bones of a strange animal they named Diplodocus. They knew it was a sauropod, and at the time many people believed that sauropods walked in deep water. Could the hole in the Diplodocus head have been used for snorkeling? Walking with the top of its head above the surface, Diplodocus could have breathed through the hole, or so people thought. Scientists have taken a new look at Diplodocus. Many of them think that the snorkeling picture is wrong. First of all, they say Diplodocus could easily get around on land. Its bones were strong, but not light. The neck bones, for example, had special hollowed-out shapes. They could support a lot of weight, which was the way a three-legged stool will hold up as well as a solid block of wood does. So, Diplodocus did not need extra support for its body. In fact, said one scientist, its body was really so light, it would have floated like a cork in water. But just supposing Diplodocus did manage somehow to walk on the bottom of a lake, it could not have breathed through a hole in the head. Why didn't someone figure that out a long time ago? Probably the snorkeling idea was just too satisfying to give up. So dinosaur experts overlook some important facts about breathing. These facts are the same for people for the same of animals with lungs. When you breathe out, a kind of trapdoor at the top of your windpipe opens. At the same time, the muscle around your chest and lung area relax, and your breath is forced out. You can breathe out underwater, so could a dinosaur. Actually, water presses against the body and helps to force air out. So far, so good. But it's different when you breathe in. The trapdoor in your windpipe opens, and your breathing muscles pull outward to make room for your chest to expand. Air then rushes into your empty lungs. Now think about Diplodocus with its lungs 20 feet down in the water. Water is heavy. 20 feet beneath the surface, there would be a great amount of water pressing down around the animal's whole body. Breathing out, we know, would be easy. The weight of the water would force out like a gust of wind. But then, the same pressure would keep the animal's chest from expanding, and so air could not rush in to fill its lungs. Even a dinosaur's mighty muscles couldn't work against the weight of much water. In order to breathe in, Diplodocus would have to hustle out of a shallow spot. That puts an end to the picture of Diplodocus the snorkeler. In places where Diplodocus roamed 130 million years ago, tall trees grew in great forests. With its long neck, it could have reached up and snipped off greens to eat. Its stumpy teeth were good enough for snipping. Then, its gizzards and food factory stomach would have done the rest of the work. So, it didn't need to wait around eating soft water plants. Probably, Diplodocus spent most of its time eating. This gives a clue to the location of its nostrils. High on the top of its head, they allowed Diplodocus to browse and breathe at the same time. Probably the nose was very sensitive to smells. When Diplodocus was looking for food, it could catch the odor of good things to eat. It could also smell a nearby enemy. Diplodocus had a cousin named Diplosaurus, who was only 40 feet long. This smaller creature probably ate plants that grew closer to the ground. It too had a hole for nostrils above its eyes. One artist thinks that Dicraeosaurus may have breathed through a long nose, something like an elephant's trunk. If so, the picture shows how it might have looked. Diplodocus was a close relative of huge, long-necked Brontosaurus and Brachiosaurus. They too had nostrils rather high on their heads, and for the same reasons. Some scientists believe that all the members of this family may have liked to dunk and cool off in water sometimes, just like elephants do. If Diplodocus did spend sometimes dunking in shallow lakes or pools, one scientist likes to think that the rest with its long neck floating straight out of the water. In that position, the hole in his head might have acted in a very handy way to breathe after all. Well, we learned a lot today in that little exercise. What did you learn, Madam Owl? I thought that was really interesting too. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining us as we got through another adventure here with Wayne Reads. We can't wait to see you on the next one, okay? Bye-bye.